Hey everyone, before we get into the summons, I will try to explain the unit banners. So, like always, I always summon on these banners, especially this one. It requires 20 souls, but and it's only for normal units, but it's a 10% rate, so theoretically, you should get at least 3 SSRs, hopefully, because the rates are so high. Um, so you can only do it 2 times, assuming you only get 1 SSR each time plus the random ticket. And you should summon on this because if you're going for collection, it's easier to get multiple units, maybe. And if you're trying to get one of the liberated units, this is a good chance that you might randomly get them or increase their bonds. With the new system, the liberated, with the new liberation system, it makes it easier to liberate a unit. So, like, if you want the Elf Queen, you might as well summon on this and try to get her. But I would summon on this, and I will summon on this later. Now, for which banner you should summon on, I would say both of them, because on both banners there's 2 characters that you should get that I would put on the legendary tier. One of it is Muila, and the other one is a Christmas Ball. So first, people are a little bit confused about her ability, and I'll just shorten it real quick. You don't really need more bonds for it, but having more bonds increases the stacks, which increases your damage per turn. So example is this effect. So the effect she gives when Mila attacks gives your other units the ability to get up to 160% more basic attack power, or a ton of like 60% more ultimate damage. So like obviously if you're using as a leader or any in as a support or anything, so when she does a basic attack, but, so when she gives your team the basic attack buff, all your units will have it, but it will get removed the moment they attack. So let's say if you only have bond 1 and she gets 6 stacks, so that means all your units will have 48 basic attack power every turn until they attack. So once they attack, the buff is gone, and then if she guards, that unit will no longer have the basic attack because she did not attack, and the buff's on permanent. But these buffs are stackable, so if she attacks twice, the unit that the unit that did not attack yet, they can still keep their buff, so they will have 96% basic attack buff, and they will also have the ultimate buff whenever she uses the ultimate. As long as the unit never uses the basic attack or ultimate, the stacks can keep stacking until it reaches max stacks of 20 and max stacks of 50 until they use a basic attack or ultimate. So if you have both stacks for one unit, they will do 160% attack power for the basic attack, and once they attack, the buff is removed and they will need to re-get it again. But the ultimate will still they will still have the ultimate buff until they use the ultimate buff. So if you use basic attack, the basic attack buff is gone, but you still keep the ultimate skill power buff until you use the ultimate, which is why you kind of want more bonds so that your damage is higher every time she uses per turn. So you don't have to, if you're trying to stack damage, you don't have to guard for that unit 3 times to stack the basic attack power buff or any of these buffs in general. so it just takes 2 turns to max stacks the buff instead of like 3 turns or higher if you're stacking the ultimate buff, because each stack increases the attack power by 8% and 1.25% per stack. So it's like the more stacks you have is better, so getting more bonds is better if you can, but if not, just get one copy of her. And this is also very good because the enemy is going to have stackable damage, and the target will also get more stackable element damage from all attributes. So you could use her in any team, any type of team. So you could use her in basic attack or ultimate teams, even trigger teams, I guess. And you also want Ball because she's the strongest damage dealer currently, probably in the entire game. Although her base attack is kind of low. Or this, this is Ball. So her attack is above average. It's pretty high actually, but what makes it so good is she gives the enemy stackable damage. I mean, increases the target's damage. Okay, so see, it increases the target's damage by 10%, and at max level it's 60%. And she increases her own damage basically for 5 units, but you don't want that much 5 units for her because her ability is if there are 3 or more 5 units, she basically does 0 damage. So you want her and like maybe another 5-year support like Noma, I believe, like they used in the trial. The reason is she's probably the best to pair with Christmas Ball because of the stackable damage she has, I think, somewhat. Yeah, so you increase the target's damage, so basically that's why they're using her. But you could also use units like the Red Twin if you have her. So you go to collection. So if you don't have Noma, you could also use Red Asita because she also has increased stackable damage. You can also use Ayane Summer because she also has stackable damage, although quite lower. It's still right at 15%. And finally, you can also use anyone else of your choice. But if you're bringing a damage deal, you could technically bring Vanilla as well because she's a good damage dealer. Now, I would suggest that you summon on the Christmas Ball banner first because she's probably one of the better units to get if you don't need if you need more damage, because her damage is pretty good. Like she has stackable attack, which she will do crazy damage. She gets like 90% damage output, which is basically double damage, along with other units that has damage output buff, and she's just going to be doing a lot of damage, just like Summer Caesar. If you summon for Summer Caesar, like I told you guys to, I suggested. Um, Summer Caesar does crazy damage as well, so I'm pretty sure she's going to do crazy damage as well. And yeah, you can just skip over these ones. So, and then Muila is a good support buffer, and yeah, if you need a good support buffer and you want to like stack your buff team with Halloween Lutia and stuff, this is the unit you should get as well. And yeah, hopefully you get her instead. More of this when you're summoning instead of the free unit. Another healer, which I'm going to say that you don't really want to get much copy of this unit. Like this unit is this unit's okay, but because you're properly limited on summons, because she also has stackable damage outputs. But the problem is you really want to focus on getting more copies of Muila instead. So hopefully you get more of this than this because she's the free unit in the event, and you want more bonds of this one because she's more rare to get and more useful. So I'm going to summon, and hopefully you guys should get more bonds of Christmas Ball, and hopefully you get multiple bonds of Muila as well on these two banners, the separate. And I believe I if you're very limited on summon tickets, you should go on this banner instead of this one because they're both good. But if you're lacking a damage dealer, most likely you should get Christmas Ball because she's probably going to be used for like every content now. As probably carry you in most of the tower and spire. But if you don't need a damage dealer anymore, then you should focus on this one. If you're limited on tickets, like if you only have enough for one pity somehow, then you should go on this. Depending on what you need, if you need more damage or you need a good support. But if you have enough for both, I suggest that you summon on both banners and get Christmas Ball and Muila. This is probably the best version of her out there in the entire game, I believe. And yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys get good luck on this, and I will summon in the next one. See you guys. Bye.